What's good, everybody? Hope you've been blessed. So, it's taken me a while to execute this idea properly and feel satisfied with the quality. I feel comfortable doing it for a few reasons. So, I want to make myself comfortable with everybody watching, or anybody watching. My name is Nader Rashad Dilly, aka Broshiyo, and I'm currently 23 years old. As I state in my Instagram bio, I'm an independent artist, and I handle just about every aspect of my music alone, from writing to production. And I plan on releasing music that way for as long as I literally can do it. If I get a deal or something like that in the future, that's hypotheticals. I don't like to really speak in hypotheticals a lot. This series is going to get pretty personal. I'm going to aim to make that a consistent theme, and I'm going to make it thoughtful as best I can. Sometimes I'll write a script, sometimes I just let it flow. I think it's best that way. It's mainly a means to express myself and inject more of myself into my passion, you feel me? Lore will be expanded upon by default, because it is. And that's going to help with new episodes, because this whole series is going to be a long-winded thing. Like, I'm just going to keep doing it. I don't really see no end to it. It don't matter what type of album is going to be coming out or anything, or whatever project I'm working on. I'm going to find a schedule, see what works for everybody, see what works for me, and then I'll just release them. It's called Open It Up. And you know what? Nah, scratch that. It's called Open Up. Feels better. So this one's going to be So with me releasing my latest project on BANDCAMP, it also being my biggest yet, it has come with a quote that essentially describes the album.
My biggest goal in life is to help people with music. However that help looks is up to them. It could be through writing, producing, engineering, performing, listening, relating to anybody or more. Music is the spine in my back. It helps me move forward in life. So it's time to open it up to the world. Open more of myself. From here on out, the door for endless possibilities is open. So run and don't stop. You don't know any better. That's who Rashad is.
So, I want to start by saying that none of what I have made is possible without God. First and foremost. My mom and dad raised me and my brother in a non-denominational Christian household, and even had a family church that we all attended. Like, as soon as I was born, we were in the church, all of us. Even after multiple moves from house to house, a divorce, and everybody being so distant now, we still have all a foundation and a personal relationship with God I keep in touch with. Just about all of them from time to time. And that's one thing that stays strong in the family. My family and the church family I was raised in helped me truly discover my love for music. It was my passion. It really developed and it really started and honed in the church, and it really started with drums. At a young age, I was like, 2 or 3? And even then, I would be tapping on things by nature, apparently, according to my dad. I would drum casually with the praise team, and I would practice with them when I was actually 8, 9, around that age. And alongside my mom, who was an amazing talent when it came to singing. Man, like she cranked, for real. She was a very emotional singer with great dynamic range, and understood when to kick it into high gear and control a song, or harmonize seamlessly alongside the other members, and resonated with that. I resonated with that heavy. She was the emotion. She was the emotion and heart of the music to me. But meanwhile, my dad instilled a lot of wisdom, practice, experimentation, and open-mindedness with music in me. He was very gifted with a great ear and proficiency in music theory, and to make it even better, he was a very skilled pianist for as long as I've literally been alive. I have always seen him play piano. I wish I had a lot of photos of it, but I just don't. But he is in one of my songs. He's in December. He's the main loop. He's the main sample, which is really sick. I need to do more music with him. I also have, he also has released music. Ven Blue, VEN BLUE. It's only one song. It's Walk. I co-produced it with him. It's a really good song. I need to listen to it again. Really good. But finally, my brother helped me get into my creative spirit. You know, like it skyrocketed whenever he introduced me to games. For real. He introduced me to manga and drawing too. He really put me onto the map with that stuff. Those forms of media, I grew to value music so much more early in my life. Like very early, I want to say around 9, 10. We were on Guitar Hero just going at it. He taught me, and I was just going with him. But then I took it further. Like when he was not playing, I was playing. And that game and so many video game soundtracks I fell in love with are very pivotal. And not only my music journey, but just how my music sounds, you know? And that's not even including anime openings and just anime soundtracks in general. But Soul Eater soundtrack is just stupid. It's ridiculous. There are too many more. And that's just a small sample, you know? Like there are other forms of medium. There are other forms of media, that are very, very good at conveying emotion with the strength of music behind it. Like, movies are a great example, man. There are some movies out there that will make a scene purposefully so much better because the music really elevates it to where it needs to be. And that it works with almost every medium ever in any art form. It's a perfect combination. It's kind of crazy. It let me know early in my life that music felt infinite, powerful, which is also how I feel about God. That's how he is. It's great. And let me know that it felt like a passion from the get-go, and soon it would be like a calling, because I was already playing the drums in an early age, random, with just, like small little toys here. But that's like, that's baby stuff, but it actually translated into, okay, now I'm drumming for the church, and now I'm about to get drum lessons. The only reason we stopped drum lessons is because of divorces, things, Life happens. However, in the 6th grade, I was 1000% interested in being in the band, and I had to be on percussion. I was hungry for it because I wanted to learn more about it, and I missed out on the chance of more lessons because of money issues back then, and I thought I was already pretty solid at the instrument, so I was like, cool. But nah, bumped all that. All of the positions in percussion were taken, so I had no choice but to choose an instrument that I've never played before, and I looked through them all, felt weird about them all, but at the end of the day, I chose trombone, and that instrument is gas. However, I won't hold you. It felt so unfair and frustrating to have to challenge myself with that instrument so suddenly, and it had to force me to learn a new approach to music. But I was ready. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna let no instrument, not gonna let no instrument scare me. It's not that deep. Learning bass clef, understanding slide positions, how to buzz your lips properly, and warming up, scales, and all the essentials. And I couldn't stand it to start, to say the least. And it didn't make it any better that my homeboy Garrett at the time, and he was the trombonist next to me, he already knew how to play. He had history with that instrument. Like he had a relationship with it, you feel me? So it came natural to him to progress faster despite whatever flaws he initially had with the instrument, because he was already a natural talent. And he progressed fast because he actually sat in class and learned despite how much we goofed off and stuff, and I realized that. And then he was getting better faster, obviously, through his methods of, leaning more towards, I want to learn this instrument because I love this instrument. I love what I'm doing with this instrument. I like playing because it's fun. Even if it's not love, at its simplest, he's like, I like doing it because it's fun. And I like doing it because it's cool too. I like making music also because it's cool. I think it's the coolest shit ever, I'm being honest. And it started to get to a point where he had to tell me straight up, no man, you're not taking this seriously. You goof around a lot. That made me want to lock in. But I felt constricted to lock in because my mom and my dad were split up at the time, and it was conveniently right around middle school. So I studied, practiced, and I wanted to get better. So I march in high school. That was definitely the dream for me at that time. And I wanted to play better than I did the day before because I was tired of goofing off. My boy Gary was right. You feel me? I was like, no more doo-doo. So through trombone, through putting myself through that lock-in phase of actually practicing at home, coming back, playing my skills, playing whatever we needed to do, being vigilant and studying and learning and then repeating that cycle and really getting consistent at it, man, it helped me realize that any of the sketches, any of the fake bands that I made because of Guitar Hero, it really influenced me to make bands in my spare time during school. And it really started in the 3rd and 4th grade. Even early on, I just had my notebooks filled to the brim with ideas of band names. I'm not going to get into it. It's not right now. We're going to get into that in another episode. I feel like that's cringe right now, bro. But I had a lot of bands, to keep it simple. They were all rock bands at the time. And I all had the members all stored up and everything. And I made a lot of albums. And some of them stuck out with me. Title-wise and everything. Like, I was deep in my bag as a kid with just making track lists and all that stuff. Just because I thought it was cool. I was like, all right, well, it'd be cool to be in a band. Because Guitar Hero really made me lock in on the idea if I want to make music. And actually starting to learn what music can sound like and what you have to do to learn how to read music, even if it is bass or treble clef. In general, just being a better musician. I knew that would help me finally be able to write and make something. So for my first inspirations, shout outs to God, first of all. That's the easiest thing to look to. Because I feel like I was put on this earth to make music. It was already from the jump. That was my calling in some way. And I can expand upon that more. But my family made that a deep-rooted thing in my life, and I'll never forget. And I'll always cherish that. It's a blessing that I have a very musically inclined family. It's sick. And not to even mention, the instruments that I did play, and then the fact that I challenged myself not only as a listener by just allowing myself to listen to whatever was playing, no matter who was playing it, but also challenging myself as a musician and putting myself through the task of learning a new instrument. Because any musician will tell you that it's not easy to learn a new instrument from scratch at all, especially if it's like a drastic change from what your norm is. You feel me? Regardless of it, I think that's a good lesson in life in general. Challenges are gonna happen, and they're gonna push you to overcome certain obstacles in yourself. Regardless of how annoying and frustrating they can be, it's worth it. It's worth going through it as best you can and improving on who you were the day prior. Pray for any people out there that are listening and that aren't. Hope y'all stay blessed. Hope y'all get some water, get some good food, get some good sleep. Stay blessed. Genuinely. And episode 1 is going to be a lot more. What's a good way to put it, man? I'm going to free flow from this point on, I think. And if a script is necessary, by all means, definitely let me know in the comments. Don't be shy to let me know, because I'm all ears. This is a constructive place for me, but this is also a personal place for me now. I'm gonna try and just be myself. I'm not gonna really make it anything else other than that. I'm down to talk about anything in the comments by all means. Any questions about me, maybe I'll do a Q&A to make it easier, or make the next episode partial Q&A just by default if anyone has questions, or maybe the stories will just answer the questions. You never know. I definitely want to keep this going for a while. I want to get comfortable with it. I've never been comfortable with the idea of not only sharing my past, but it isn't just about that. It feels like I'm extending myself for people I'll probably never see. But I think the idea of putting it out there for someone that I may never see is also really cool, because I hope it just inspires somebody to do something uncomfortable or something that they've been wanting to do, because I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do this for so long. Really just sit down and start recording and make it feel good. Make it not forced or anything. And, you know, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm reading off of a script partially, but I was. Like, you can tell the difference, I feel like, to some degree. Maybe not, maybe so. But I want to fall in love with this series. I want to fall in love with the idea of opening up. And I want to make it worth y'all's time. Don't get it twisted. I got to get better gameplay of all of my gameplay. You know, like, I'm going to do a lot of gameplay. And if there are any recommendations for PS2 games, I'm going to try to make this work. I'm gonna start, like, putting, you know, edits on the screen to make everybody understand the type of games that I have and what we will be seeing on the screen for the future. But for the time being, I'm a Tony Hawk boy. I'm so sorry, y'all, but this game is it's so sick. It's so good. And I may make a video on it alone. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. But again, everybody, stay blessed. God bless you. And until next time, Broshiyo is out.